We are live.
This is Senate Appropriations for February, right? February month, 18th.
It's one of those months.
And we're talking about the Budget Adjustment Act of fiscal year 25. And Laverne is gonna go through the numbers and the spreadsheets.
Yes.
So you could share, I think some people appreciate that. And then I think if somebody's watching, then they would see the documents. You know, they're all on our website.
Yep.
So Emily had 4 different handouts. The big long one that has everything on it, and then 4 other one-pagers that she'll tell you all about.
Elle, do you mind sending me the?
It's sent. Probably hasn't hit your email.
Yep. So I can do it for the record. Emily Byrne from the Joint Fiscal Office. As the chair mentioned, there are 4 spreadsheets. They should all look very familiar. I was hoping maybe not to give out all 4 spreadsheets, but there's a small tweak on every single one, so I figured it was just easier to present them all again. I will walk through the first, the big one. We'll call that the big sheet. It should be physically bigger. So there, perfect. Okay, so the only changes, the highlighted sections that were sort of open when we finished Friday, you'll see that in the column, the difference from the House column, those are the changes that the Senate is making. If it's grayed out, then it's the same as what was passed in the House. So we go all the way down to lines 66.1 and 66.2. Those are the municipal grant appropriations.
But there's also the one at the top.
Oh yeah, I was just going to do the highlighted sections. The 2 changes at the top are the money for the position in the Attorney General's office, in the Solicitor General's office, within the Attorney General's office, and then the 2 positions for the Human Rights Commission, the 62,000 are in as line 18. There are no questions there. I'll keep going down. So then 66.1 and 66.2 are the 2 municipal grant appropriations. So there was the $200,000 that was appropriated for the grants to communities in Addison County last year. Those have not gone out. So those we're going to take that money and sort of put it into the total. So 1.8 million will cover the Addison County grants that were made last year. And then also new grants for municipalities impacted by the floods in July of 2024. So that subtotal of the 1.8 plus less the 200 plus the couple other small changes is an additional $1.7 million that will get appropriated compared to the House. If we go down to line 75, that's highlighted. This is where you see the $220,000 that's being transferred to the Emergency Personnel Survivors Benefit Fund. That was talked about today by the Treasurer's Office. And then the last change is on line 88. The additional reversions is the additional $6 million reversion coming from the Treasurer's Office.
So
What was that? That last one?
Line 88. So there's an additional $6 million reversion from the Treasurer's Office appropriation.
Yep.
That was to get us to the full 20 million to 14 that the House did, and that's the extra 6.
Yeah, and so I should probably mention, so that brings the sort of balance at the end of all the adjustments in the Budget Adjustment Act means that there is going to be $137.66 million that will be carried forward into, or that's available to be carried forward into FY 2026 for appropriation. I know that the language that says that money is held and carried forward is not in the bill right now, but will be there will be something in the big bill that kind of directs how that money will flow. But right now, it's $137 million.
Nice.
How unusual is that?
10 years ago, I would say never seen it before, but in the last year's budget, there was about $158 million that was brought forward. plus 114, give or take, that was in the contingent appropriation. So I think in the sort of like reset post-COVID, where things are at. Yeah, there is just, and just like reestablishing the baseline on the forecast, there has been more sort of projected additional revenue and more sort of bringing it forward to use it next year. But it is one-time money, right?
Yeah.
It's not projected to reoccur in the FY26 budget. So when we build the FY26 budget, we'll sort of look at this as one-time money, and ideally used for only one-time investments. With a few other sheets that I put together, just look at them quickly. It's just repetitive, but I'll be online for those at home. But they're smaller this time. Hopefully, still
You're gonna do the transfers? still?
readable. Yes, I can do the transfers. So the only change on this one, right, is adding in line 18.1 is that emergency personnel survivors benefit fund. This is showing a transfer out of the general fund into the new fund. The 0.2 is 0.22. That's just what the treasurer talked about. That's the only change from the House Pass version happening on the transfer sheet. I don't know if there's anything else.
Okay.
On that one. And then reversions. This is just where we added since Friday on line 19 is the treasurer's bond debt service reversion, which is that remaining $6 million in the appropriation to the treasurer's office that was utilized by the e-board this summer. That's that last piece.
And there's some on the stack of that page.
Some on the back, yep, and the
Ones
totals
we've
are on the
already-
back.
We've already agreed to.
Yep. And then the last short spreadsheet, this is just sort of to summarize it all in case there's thoughts or questions, but this shows in the Senate version the sort of the changes summarized. There aren't a ton, obviously, but so reducing the treasurer's appropriation, taking the money that was appropriated in the last budget for those grants, and then using it to fund the position at the AG's office, the Human Rights Commission positions, transferring money to the Emergency Personnel Survivors Fund, and then the addition of municipal grants. The net of those changes is about $4 million positive, which is why we're at $137 million versus the House's $133 million.
Okay.
That's it on the number.
Any questions on these numbers? Anything seems different than we expected?
Great.
Good job.
We did it.
And we have millions.
It may seem like that, but you will very quickly.
Yeah.
And then where's Greg?
Brady's working on the language. We should take a break till he's done with it. Probably.
Yeah.
Usually quicker than that. Where is he?
I don't know. He might have gotten lost.
So yeah, we'll take a break.